Alright, I thought we'd go out and have a fun flight on the Glue and Fly Series DIY F22 Mini, and this is the third iteration of this airframe, version 3. I've got over 300 flights on this aircraft now. It's made out of Adams Ready Board. It's one of our original designs, and I know I'm biased, but this is one of the best flying aircraft that I have in my inventory. If I have room in the truck with the other equipment and aircraft I'm taking with me, I always have this one with me, because when things go wrong, I can always count on putting this one in the air without any problems. So it's hard to believe I've got over 300 flights on this. I don't think I have another aircraft other than the GFS F22 Micro that I have over 300 flights on without having any issues. And so far I haven't made any mistakes that were stupid enough to nose it into the ground, luckily. But I'm not easy on my aircraft. If you've watched any of my flight videos, I'm not easy on any of my aircraft. And I fly them pretty hard most of the time. So anyway, let's take this out. It has a extremely wide flight envelope with the power system that I have on it. It has unlimited vertical climb. It has great slow flight capability for a Parkjet. I mean, its slow flight capability is as good as some of the bush planes that I've flown. And it's extremely stable and very forgiving, or I wouldn't have over 300 flights on it. So I will have a link to the playlist in the show notes, and when we get back from the flight, I'll give you all the specs and a list of all the components that I have in it. It's an extremely simple build. The plans are available. I've got the plans published on our Facebook page. So everything's available that you need to download the plans, to create your templates, to cut out your foam, to build the plane. It's one of the simplest builds you'll come across. It doesn't take any time at all to build it and get it in here. So I will see you out the field. Okay, let's get this GFS F22 Mini in the air. With this power system, I launch it at just 45% throttle. Okay, launching. Takes right off. It has extremely minimal torque roll, if any at all. It has a ton of power, as you can see. And it has a really wide flight envelope. It's sweet. Very maneuverable. Very fast. For a onboard Parkjet. Unlimited vertical. Whee! Very stable, very well behaved. Easy to build. Isn't that awesome? I know I'm biased, but you can see how it flies, right?
Nice tight axial rolls. Woo! Whee! This is one of the best flying, most high performance, stable airframes that I have in my inventory, and it's a DIY. Pretty sweet. Little breezy out, as usual. But not bad slow flight capability for a Parkjet, huh? DIY or otherwise. Okay. That's our timer. Get another loop in. Okay, let's see. I got company coming, so I guess we're going to land over here on the dirt lane. There we go. Bumpy as crazy, but it worked. Alright, so that is the GFS DIY F22 Mini. Very high performance, very maneuverable, very stable, pretty fast for a foam board Parkjet.
Alright, so unfortunately we had really overcast skies. I wish we'd have had sunny blue skies out there during the flight demonstration, but what did you think of the flight? I mean, it is so easy to launch, and I don't launch these pusher props from underneath. I launch it from the wingtip. Just flick it sideways, 45% throttle, and it's off and flying. No drama launches, easy to land even for me. And if you've watched a lot of my videos, you know that I'm not very skilled at landing aircraft. Yeah, I can launch them just fine, I can fly them just fine, but landing's a little difficult for me. And this one is just a piece of cake to land. And you see how stable it is in the air. You saw the slow passes with the slow speed. If you put in a little bit of high alpha, you can really slow it down. Okay, so the specs on it. I have two 9-gram digital, these are Go-Tech 9-gram digital servos. They're nylon gear. I haven't purchased any more of these because they have really raised the price on them. I think that when I bought these, and I think I bought a 4 or a 6 pack of them, I think at the time they were about $6, $7. Last time I checked they were like $15 or $16, so I don't buy these anymore. But the Hobby King the Hextronic 9-gram servos work really, really well. I've never had any issues with them. I've broken a couple of them from crashes, but I've never had an issue with them failing on me in flight or anything, so they're really good. The motor is a Racerstar, and it's the SIC 2207 2688 kV motor. For the size of motor, it has a lot of torque, which is why it gives me unlimited vertical on just the 3S. I just fly this on a 3S. The prop that I use is an Rctimer. It's a 2-blade prop. It is a it's a composite high efficiency sport prop. This is one of my favorite props with these higher kV motors, these 6x3s. I know a lot of people discount 3-inch pitch props, but I have found that this works extremely well on a lot of my power systems. It's also sold under the brand of EMP and KMP, these 6x3 props, and they are excellent. I'll have a link to those in the show notes. I think the best place to get them now is AliExpress, and I think you can get a 5-pack of them pretty cheap there. Let me see. I have just a Orange RX 6-channel receiver, and I have a Turnigy Plush 20-amp speed controller in it, a wide open throttle. I think it only pulls about 17 or 18 amps at full throttle. And you saw how much power it has. I fly it with a Turnigy nano-tech 3S 1300 milliamp hour 30C LiPo. Pretty lightweight LiPo. My favorite LiPo to fly in it, I only have 4 of them, but it's the Turnigy nano-tech 1500 milliamp hour, and I think those are 30C LiPos. And it seems to like the weight of those LiPos. There's always a weight at which the aircraft feels the most locked in. And so I've tried a bunch of different batteries in it, and the 1500s are my favorite ones to use in this Parkjet. It just feels really, really locked in at that weight with that size LiPo, and I got lots of flight time with it as well. So that's it. I mean, there's no gyro or anything in it. It's just a standard 6-channel receiver, 2 9-gram servos, a 20-amp speed controller, that SIC motor, and a 6x3 prop. Mechanically, it's Elevon mixing only. It's extremely simple mechanically to set up. And I had, when I put this together, I recommend that you use at least 1.2mm control rods for it. But all I had available at the time was a 1mm control rod. And you can see that the length of the control rods are pretty long. And so what was happening was I was getting a little bowing in that 1mm control rod when I was doing really fast, hard aerobatic maneuvers with it. So I didn't have anything larger than that. So what I did was I took a shorter section of 1mm control rod and some sections of heat shrink, and I basically created a splint for that 1mm control rod. But it works really well. I've got tons and tons of flights with that setup, just bracing that 1mm control rod so that it doesn't bow on me. But absolutely fantastic flying aircraft, guys. And I don't know if you're into DIY builds, but this is one of the simplest builds you'll come across. But fantastic aircraft. Like I said, I take it with me every chance I can. So anyway, for those of you who aren't familiar with it and don't know about the plans being available for this, along with the setup, OpenTX model file, list of components, all that stuff, you might want to check it out, because it's a very inexpensive aircraft to build, and it's budget components. So it's very inexpensive for a plug-and-fly build of this aircraft. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.